I've built cities, rail networks, and even my own rescue centre, but today I'm doing something a little closer to my heart. I'm building my very own golf course. Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome to Under Par Golf Architect. This is a game that's been on my radar now for quite some time. I've seen a couple of other people playing it, and I thought I'd give it a go myself. This very much gives me the vibes of Sid Meier's Sim Golf, which is a very old game now from, I think, the early 2000s. I think that one came out. Might even be the late 90s. But that's a very fun game where you build your own golf resort. You can host tournaments. You can play the course yourself. And I thought, why not give this a go? If it's a spiritual successor, then it should be a very, very good game indeed. Game itself is not yet fully available. This is the demo. It's also got something that Sid Meier's doesn't have, which is a career mode, which is what we're going to be trying because the sandbox is currently unavailable. I'm guessing that will be a full release game mode. So should we get into it? I think we should get into it. Now, I've already had a little bit of a play around. I wasn't expecting to be driving a golf cart around anything, but here we are. So I think Rocky Roads is the first level. I don't think I can do anything here. I don't want to leave tyre tracks on the green. That's not good. But yeah, Rocky Roads. Let's do it. A golf club in the middle of a residential neighbourhood sounds crazy, right? No, that's actually quite common in many places. I wouldn't call it a neighbourhood necessarily, but even big courses like Wentworth, which I've been to a few times, not to play, just to watch, that's surrounded by houses. So, in fact, I have family that live on a golf resort right next to the sixth fairway, so not uncommon. But anyway, we're bringing golf to the masses. Golf right on your doorstep, literally for the lucky residents who live behind the fairway. I'm Royce Stretch Bennett. Wow, that's a name. Entrepreneur, investor, dreamweaver, and your new mentor. Lucky for you, your resume for Golf Club Manager was at the top of the pile, and Stretch hasn't got time to read them all, so welcome aboard. Oh boy, is that not true for all recruiting these days. If you're at the top of the pile, you're basically the first to be offered an interview. Unless you haven't got the buzzwords, of course, in which case, straight in the bin. The land is a little bumpy, just one of the perks of building on a former industrial waste site, but I'm sure you'll transform it into a world-class golf club in no time. Bumpy's fine, in terms of golf. For those of you unfamiliar, I've played golf for the vast majority of my life, so I know a little bit about the game. Welcome to Under Par. Tee up and swing into the world of golf club management as you build and manage your own golfing paradise. Sharpen your strategy by designing clever courses and devious holes. Watch your golf club flourish as you attract eccentric golfers, hire quirky staff, and hold prestigious tournaments. This is basically Sim Golf, which is awesome. The fairways are calling. Let's create a golfing legend. Well, you have a golfing legend talking to you right now. I was a whiz kid on the old junior scene back in the day. I don't think I've talked much about when I used to play golf. But yeah, I was alright. I was okay. Don't want to blow my own trumpet too much, but yeah. Right, structures. I feel like the clubhouse... Is there anything I can do? Yeah, paths. So I feel like, first of all, we should build a pathway up like this. Yeah, and then I think the clubhouse should be right smack at the end of it. Like so. Alright, create the first hole. So, I like the idea of, if you have like a putting green, driving range and all that stuff over here, then the first hole would be here, going up this way. I'm thinking a par 4. Somewhere... Basic club terrain, not really ideal for golf. Okay, that's interesting. Tee, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm learning as we go. I'm thinking a par 4. For those of you unfamiliar, there are different pars on golf courses, which is how many shots the club think it would take to finish the hole. It can be dependent on distance. It's mostly dependent on distance, if we're being honest. Anything less than 250 yards in the non-professional game is a par 3. Between 250 and 449, I believe, is a par 4, and then anything longer than that is a par 5. Now, there are some cases where there is a par 6. They are ridiculous, and I don't want to build them. 3, 4, and 5 are the standards for a game of golf, and you can have anything thrown in the middle of it. You can have lakes, bunkers, trees, whatever, and it won't change the par. Because it is pretty much distance based, as I said. Although there may be cases where a hole should be a par 4, but because, say, the fairway comes out this way and then juts back in, it's actually considered a par 5 because of the overall distance, even though you could just make it in 2 shots were it not for the massive, you know, patch of trees that potentially is blocking you. Right, let's do a new hole then. So as I said, I think over here is going to be like putting green, driving range, if we can build those sorts of things, of course. So I think the first tee will be somewhere around here. And then we're going to make this a par 4, as I said. So like maybe 333 yards is actually a nice number. Right, building a hole. Some rules. Well, there's always rules in golf. This is a nice hole, actually. That looks pretty cool. Every great golf hole begins with a solid plan. Learn the basic structure of a golf hole. I already know that. I'll let you guys see it anyway. And key design principles to balance challenge and playability. Tee box is the starting point of every hole. Choose its position carefully. It sets the tone for the player's first shot and defines the hole's overall length, if you say so. The green is the final destination. Shape and size matter. Oh, I'm a child. A well-designed green rewards accuracy while punishing sloppy approach shots. That is very true. That is very true. And there's always one where it's a nasty little bugger, where there's a hole and then it just slopes away down towards a lake. And if you fall foul of that, then, yeah, you are screwed. This is the main path to the green. This is the fairway, of course. Lay it out to guide players or mislead them. Yes, so you can do that. If you want to be a bastard, you can do that. You can point the fairway off in a different direction. You can even do that with the tee box. There's been times where I've played a course that I'm not familiar with, and the tee here has faced like this way, but the green is over here. And yeah, you rely on people who know the course to tell you. But when you're in a match, like I used to play, you are under no obligation to tell your opponent the layout of the hole. It is their responsibility. And it's called gamesmanship, and I used to partake in it quite a lot, both as a giver and a victim. It just adds to the fun. Yeah. Consider width, shape, and hazards to create interesting decisions. Then you've got a firm fairway, which makes the ball go bouncy. Firmness affects how far the ball rolls after landing. Use fairway firmness to influence strategy. Harder fairways mean more roll, but also more risk. I like the fact that there's the 2 different types of fairway as well. I believe Sim Golf did have that. As a feature. I'd love to play Sim Golf again, but it doesn't work on modern machines. So I was so happy when I saw this. Bunkers add risk and drama. Place them to protect key areas like the green or narrow tee shots. But don't overdo it. Smart use of sand goes a long way. So yeah, there's something called a landing zone, which is if you're teeing off, it's the average area where the ball is likely to land. So if you can drive it, let's say 150 carry, which is how far it goes in the air, then you want to place a hazard somewhere, probably either side of the fairway, around the 150 mark. So it just gives you a little bit more to focus on when you're actually hitting your shot. If you go slightly offline, you can still be punished for it. But yeah, you've got carry, which is the total distance the ball goes in the air, and then you've got total distance, which is when it bounces and rolls out as well. So my average, when I used to play at my peak, I think I had like a 250 carry and a 310 total, which is pretty good considering I didn't practice or anything. I literally just turned up on the day and did some stretches on the first tee and then just grip it and rip it. So yeah, you want to have your hazards in the landing zone, but not literally blocking the landing zone. So we're going to talk about that in a bit as well. The rough is just anything off the fairway or off the green. Again, it's longer grass. It's designed to punish you. It is perfectly feasible that, not so much with this long stuff, but in real golf, if you go slightly off the fairway, you actually end up with a slightly better lie, which is where the ball sits, because the longer grass actually elevates it slightly off the ground, so you can really get under it and smack it hard. That's why sometimes you see the pros actually deliberately aim it slightly off the fairway for that reason. And then this, which is something Sim Golf doesn't have, and when I saw this I was very excited, because in Sim Golf you could build a dogleg which goes this way. So a dogleg is a hole that bends during its transit from the tee to the green. So in this instance I'll use the space that I've got here. Tee box goes this way to a fairway and then goes up that way to the green. Now in Sim Golf they would just try and hit it in a straight line from tee to green, which is very annoying because they'd get pissed off that they couldn't reach the green in 1 or 2 or whatever it is, and they'd start snapping clubs and cancelling memberships. Here you can actually tell them this is the fairway for this hole, so you have to go this way, and then that way, and I think that's a really nice feature. I'm very happy with that. So yeah, we can design our holes exactly how we want them, which is excellent stuff. Because of that, we're going to do that. We're going to design our holes exactly how we want. So first thing I want to do is remove all of these current trees. We are going to tree line this hole, but we're not going to use the existing ones here. We're going to keep the rocks in situ though, because they're quite cool. We're going to build our green first and work backwards. So over here, I don't want it to be... I kind of like that, but I think I want it one bigger. No, come on, game. There we go. Because you want the hole to be reachable, but you don't want it to be too easy. So here, having to hit it onto this downslope, it could kick the ball back this way. Because of that, that is the perfect spot for a bunker. Because I'm evil. I'm also going to place a little bunker just at the front here, just to keep people on their toes. We're then going to put some fairway in front of it, because there is something called bump and run, where you can land in front of the green and roll it on. So I'm going to rely a little bit on that as well. We're then going to put some rough in around here, I would say. Click and drag, yeah, that does work. Good stuff. This is pretty cool. I think maybe up to there. And then we're going to put some firm fairway, because this is going to be the landing zone from the tee shot. But actually, I think we're going to start off with just normal fairway here. And then in the actual landing zone, which I think is going to be more this space here, we're going to make it firm fairway. So you get a real nice kick, but then you can slam the brakes on over here. And then we'll put a little bit of other fairway in like so. And then again, because I'm evil, going to have water on this side, and then on this side we're going to have a fairway bunker like so, and we are going to extend the water out like that. I think that is our first hole, although already I'm thinking, so I don't know what the average yardage is for a drive on here. I also don't know how far this is from the tee box, so I think this is actually going to be our hole. And then we're just going to flood this like so. Excellent. We can open the hole. How do we open the hole? We open the hole. I'll open the gate. That's what we do. Need to build the clubhouse and one hole. Well, I've built the clubhouse and one hole. I mean, I could do the waypoints. That'll help. Okay. Oh, is it unlock? Do I have to hit unlock? I have to hit unlock. I'm not going to move the hole. It's a C+. That's actually quite low. I was hoping for more than that. But never mind. Right, we'll open the gates. And we need to create a new hole. Have a par 4 hole. Well, we've done that objective already. What is wrong with you? Why are you not happy? Oh, you'll be happy. Once you smack it down here, you'll be elated. Right, so this is quite a tricky opener, this hole. So I think I'm going to give them a little bit more of an easy ride on the second. You know, golf is defined by your opening hole. If you have a good one, then you're going to have a good round. If you have a bad one, then you may as well go home. And in my case, I went home quite a lot as well. I'm going to build a path in first and hope they actually use it, because again, Sid Meier's, you'd build these lovely pathways and then they never actually used them, the little sods. And then they always complained about being tired as well. And it's because they've walked 6 miles in the wrong direction. There we go. So that gives you a clear path from the tee to the green. Should we see our first guy tee off? Maybe take the bag off your back. That's a good idea. Here he goes. Oh, he's hit a power fade. Look at that. That's beautiful. So a draw, if you're right-handed like I am, a draw is when it goes out to the right and swings back to the left. That actually gets you a little bit more distance sometimes. And then a fade is when it goes out to the left and brings back round to the right. Not to be confused with a hook and a slice, which is where it starts straight and then immediately curves off to the left for a hook and to the right for a slice. Now, I used to have what's called a power fade, where you cut across the ball and you put side spin on it. So it goes out this way and around that way. And it's called power fade because you've got the distance of a draw, but you hit a left to right instead of a right to left. I've since trained myself to hit a powered draw, which very nice on the first tee when you get to pull that one out of the locker. Our man here, he's there for 3. Just want to see him finish this hole, and then we'll build the second one, which is, as I said, it's going to be a nice, easy par 3. Just to apologise for the hardness of the first hole. Why are you unhappy? That was a good... You got a par. God, you ungrateful swine. Right. New hole. So we're going to build that tee box. I'm going to say here. And then the hole. I think it nestled in amongst these trees. 201 yards. That's going to be, what, a 4 iron for me, possibly? Although I'm going off a few years ago now, so I might be wrong. Drinks fountain in a restroom. That's nice. Okay, I say it's going to be a nice par 3. I am going to remove this tree, and this tree, but I'm not going to remove anything else. The rest is all down to you. There we go. We'll give it a bit of a landing zone at the front as well, and then we're going to have bunker at the front. I was going to say a bunker at the back as well. I like the idea of that. I think that's a nice hole. I will be generous and give them a little bit of fairway at the front. Like so. And then the rest of this is all going to be rough. There we go. I think that is your second hole. D-. They are so cruel. There's nothing wrong with this. I think what we're missing is some obstacles. You can see already that's a B- now. I like the fact if you go within the boundary of the hole, it automatically detects. So everything we're doing here now is adding to the score, which I think is really cool. In fact, you can see the boundary line there. Still a B- though. That's really quite harsh. We're an A+ on trees. So what are we missing? Water. Well, I can probably bring some more water in. I just didn't think it was a good idea. And what's... I don't know what that is either. Well, here we're going to add some more trees. We're basically going to tree line the entire thing. Apart from one space here where we're going to put a pathway in. Paths don't seem to be part of the score though, so that's interesting as well. Okay, we're up to an A+ on trees. So it's not trees we need, it's sand. Yes, and water again. And, oh, can we make the tee box bigger? Oh, you can make the tee box bigger. Why can't I place that one? There we go. Okay, you can make the tee boxes bigger. So that's where we're missing out. So we'll do a nice plus shape to start with here then. That's good. We're up to a B+ now. Apparently you need more fairway. I don't think you need more fairway. I think you've got more than enough. We're fine for green, so it's just water. More water. I can do that. If we're clever, we can put some water over here that also then encroaches into this hole. Gets us a nice little score boost. So that's now a D+. We're an F for fairway. But it's a par 3. You don't have fairways on a par 3. And what have we got over here? We're up to a B-. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave that for now. Because I think that's something that perhaps needs a little bit of tweaking. I'm going to put a little pathway here. And then I'm going to build a drinking fountain right there. So the design score. Design score reflects how well your hole balances length, layout, terrain, and challenge. Strategic use of elements like trees, bunkers, water, and grass types improves your score. Okie dokie. Some combinations can give a special badge to the hole that increases its design score. Okay. That's good to know. I don't think this... Does this change anything? Nope. Nope. I assume this doesn't change anything. No, D+. Again, that's really harsh. Maybe I'll just dot some random bits of fairway in and around here. Just quickly. What are we doing for time? 20 minutes. Okay, I think we'll build one more hole and then we'll call this the first episode. Maybe I'll build like a little junior section there. So if you need it, there you go, C+. That's a lot better. Just in case, because, you know, there are different tees for kids. So you got red tends to be the frontmost one, and that's for juniors and ladies. And then you have yellow, which is the men's tees. This is going off what I used to do, so this can be different. But then you've got yellow, which is the men's tees, and then you've got white, which is competition tees, which you can also play for fun, as I did a few times. But primarily that is the one you use only in tournaments. Can I build a little bridge here? Let me just remove that little bit there. And then build a bridge like so. And then here. Oop. Didn't know it was a spline type thing. Through the tree and there. And then I kind of want that to be the pathway to the green. There we go. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll come out this way to the third hole, which is going to be a dogleg. Again, probably another par 4. Probably another par 4. Or maybe we'll come down this way, actually, and dogleg around that way, because then the fourth can go up that way. Do we have access to food? There was something... restroom. We have access to a toilet, which we can give them before they tee off. There we go. I should probably build a path for them to walk across to the first tee as well, shouldn't I? Placement impossible. Not on my watch. Let's do something like this. Goodbye, soul-destroying reality. Hello, golf. Interesting. Very interesting. We don't have anything here. Oh, we got some decor and stuff, but we're not going to... Oh, we can have a clock, actually, he says. There we go. And some benches. Yeah, benches between holes is very nice indeed. I hate courses that don't have benches. I know I'm supposed to be young and fit and healthy, but I'm not. There we go. Right, let's build this third hole. So we're going to have the tee around here-ish, and then the green. So we could make this a full-on par 5. The temptation is there, but I think what I'm actually going to do is... Actually, no, the temptation wins. I'm going to make this a par 5. So we're going to make this 403 yards to here, 407 yards to there, but we're going to tweak this. Edit waypoints. We're going to add a waypoint, and we're going to bring that over this way. There we go. Is that enough to make it a par? Yeah, 490 yard par 5. If I could bring it to there, 512 yard par 5. That's a lot nicer. That's 490 again. 503. 503 is good. You want a nice long hole. So 500 yards is pretty good, I would say. And if I bring this one this way, we don't want to smash the windows of the clubhouse or anything, but at the same time we want it to be a little challenging. And we could even have some fairways cross over one another. Maybe I should have built the dogleg this way, have it as a par. Actually, do you know what? The more I'm thinking, move the hole. I want to bring that into this space, which has confused everything now. But we're going to edit the waypoints. Yeah, we're going to move this one. Get rid of that one entirely. We're going to move this one. So you are back to being a par 4, unfortunately. And I'm just going to move the hole a little bit further this way. In fact, if I just place the hole in this little space. Yeah. 324 yard par 4. But if we bring that this way, 346 yard par 4, which is a lot better. This whole area here can basically be lake. And then have that come across here too. I like that as a design. So I'm even going to remove some of this path. Where's water? There's water. So all of this now is going to be the liquid stuff. And then we're going to carve like a path through this hole here too. In terms of pathing here, we're going to have a bridge like so. We're also going to build, I guess this way. Nope, that's not going to work. Might have to move the T slightly as well. To like there. That's better, I think. Remove that piece of T. I think there was other bits. Yeah, there, and over here. Okie dokie. So, yeah, path. I want it to come out of here and then go up like so and into there. And then remove this piece. And we can technically fill the rest of this with trees. Membership bronze, that's good, I think. It's always good to have members. Oh, insufficient funds, did that say? Oh no, I've run out of money. That's bad, actually, that's very bad. Yeah, that's very bad. Hello, cash. Well, I can speed up time. Hopefully that gets me some money. There is quite a queue for the holes. Right, there we go. We're getting money again. Alright, stop focusing on the stuff that doesn't matter, Mark, and focus on the stuff that does. So let's say landing zone was around here, wasn't it? Insufficient funds. Can I speed up time again? If I just hold this here a second. I don't know how much I need. That's one problem. So that's 750. Oh, it's the same price, but I should have put firm fairway here. I don't think you're supposed to run out of money in the first level. I think I've got a bit overboard with the design here. Just tap it in, son. That was a good hole, actually. He doesn't seem very happy. He got bogey, actually, so that's pretty bad. Do you get a refund for selling trees? I should leave that one right in front there. That would be so funny. I am going to leave this one in the middle of the fairway here, though, because I think that's going to be very funny. I also want to place these. Will that go in the tree? No? Can I remove that tree and then place it? There we go. And then over here, I suppose we could flesh out the tee box a little bit first, can't we? We'll do it like that. Maybe with one there as well. And then we can place the sign there. Alrighty. We've got money slowly trickling in. I think for the green, we kind of just want it to occupy this full space. How much is the green? Oh, 250. My word. Yeah, I kind of just want it to be a big square. We'll put some trees or something along this side to make it a bit more challenging. See, oh man, no, I didn't want to place that there. Oh, you don't get your money back either. That's wasteful. Not my finest moment. You don't seem to be able to click on the ground behind... That's a T mark. Behind the padlock, which is a little annoying. But it's fine. It's not the worst. Right. Come on. There we go. That's the green finished. We are going to put some fairway in front of it. Bearing in mind you're coming in from this sort of area across. So we want it to kind of be... Oh man. Can you take out a loan or something? This episode's going to be longer than it needs to be now, purely because I've run out of money. People are getting impatient. I don't know how to stop that being a thing. Can you distract them with something? Don't know. I don't know. That's a nice sizable chunk of funds. I'm going to put some firm fairway down here because we're going to have a bunker here and we're going to have a bunker all the way up here if we had the money for it. Place it here. Come on, game. Come on, game. Come on, game. Someone finish a hole, buy a membership, whatever it is. Use the toilet. However we get money in this game, just do it. And then, we're done for the episode. In the next episode, we'll play the hole and see what it's like. There we go. Right. The hole, in theory, I could technically open it now. Let's see what happens if I do that. The rating for it is terrible. I'll admit that. Where are we up to with this now? So you're still a B+. You're a C+. How can we increase that more? More sand, maybe? We could put another bunker in here. It's an idea. I think I do just want to flesh out this hole a little bit more before we absolutely call this done. I was really tempted to put firm fairway in front of the lake here, but I think I'm just going to stick with this. Oh my god, insufficient funds again. How much is rough? 100. That's not terrible. But it does add up quick. D-. So what are we missing here? More green. Possibly. We need more rough. We can do that. That's no problem. Where's the money going? Deary me. Funds, please. There we go. So we're up to a D. I'm not quite sure why these people are just walking around here either. I think, as far as I'm aware, they finished the hole. How are we doing for water? Water, we're fine. We don't need to worry about water anymore. I think we could put some more rough around this bunker. We do need more sand as well, though. So, actually, a fairway bunker is perfect for that. Anyone who tries to cut the corner here will meet my friend, the Sandman. Did someone just hit it this way? That's not the plan. Maybe we need a bit more fairway over here, then. Okay. I think this will do for this first episode. We've got 3 holes, some better than others. I personally think this is a really nice opening hole, and no one else seems to like it, and everyone's peed off, which I don't get, but there we go. The average score is a par, so that's pretty good. What about this hole? Also a par. Anyone finished this hole yet? Oh, you've just smacked it over like that. Ah, I think it doesn't help that I've put the landing zone. That's going to change the yardage, though, isn't it, if I do this? Yeah, so actually I want it to go that way, if anything. And we'll put more fairway in there. Which we have got the money for very quickly. But yeah, this is under par, Golf Architect, which I'm actually very much enjoying. I think it's very much more of an arcadey version of Sid Meier's, but it's fun. And that's what you want from these games. You want them to be fun, enjoyable, not too stressful. Although getting these scores up is going to be a challenge because I want it to look good as well. But yeah, next time out, we're going to finish hole 3, possibly build hole 4 as well, which is going to go off in this sort of direction. And that probably will be a long par 5, because why not? And then play it and actually see how it plays, how we can play. For now, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and of course if you're looking forward to the upcoming series. Drop some comments down below, let me know your golfing stories, good and bad. The worse the better, I would say, on something like this. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, not just for more of this game, but more of other games like this. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support, it's very much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I will see you soon.